So if you're still with me, welcome back, and this is my most hated level in the game. Rocky Mountains, this goddamn level. Source of all my anguish, all because of those guys, those old men. That sound they make is pure horror fuel. Their special power is that they can beam on top of you, just directly on top of you, wherever you are. When they make that sound, they teleport onto. The most unfair load of crap power in the entire game, probably in gaming history. I just killed one, good. But these guys, source of all my frustrations as a kid playing this game, because they are total cheating fucks. Pretty much everything about this level is horrible. There you go, almost died there. There he was again, trying to beam on top of me without the moon ring. And of course, there we go, my first death, right onto a scorpion. From this point on, the levels are all like this. There's not many levels left. I think there's 4 levels left. But I mean, as you can see there, a lot of enemies like to fall from platforms now. There weren't many platforms in the game up until this point, but now there are a lot of blind falls. So you kind of just have to watch out all of the time. There was a falling rock that you couldn't see coming. There I am, being accosted by 3 old wizards and got killed by a scorpion, because of course I did. And here's where the hit detection is suspect. Try to fly and kick that one and it disappears. If you can, I would recommend just jumping over everything. Try to jump over as many things as possible. Here I am trying to get this chest. I don't know why. I pick up a ring to blast that one right in the face. I don't... Yeah, well there we go. If you can, try to get as many of those boxes as possible, because you never know if there's going to be a necklace inside, and you're going to need every single one you can get. But that is the end of the level, funnily enough, short level if you can get to this point. And here is the old wizard man. So another boss fight. It's probably worth saying that you can actually lose these fights even with the necklace equipped. I have seen it where at the very split last second they've changed their mind and you're still on your choice and you lose anyway. And if you lose the necklace. So here is the second part of the Rocky Mountains level, and this is easily, without a doubt, the worst level in the game because of that. Rocks fall on you, nothing you can do about it. You just have to anticipate where the rocks are going to come from, or play it so many times that you just know where the rocks fall. I opt for putting on an invincibility cape, which I admit is a very good idea. There it just ended, so what was that? Yeah, 10 seconds? 10 seconds of invincibility. I actually really regret not using the other one I have, because, of course, I die again in a second. So, not the nicest level, and ironically enough, the ending of the level is just up there. There's a rock. I can't remember if you can kill those rocks. Here's my my attempt at trying to get up there, and as you can imagine, that's horrible. That was horrifying, absolutely horrifying. Can't believe I got out of that alive, but believe me, it doesn't last. That is just the end of the level, just up there. And for some crazy reason, I tried to get that chest, and this decision still haunts me. Why I tried to get this chest, I have no clue. I guess I thought there was something good in it. There probably wasn't, which is the ironic thing. Here's where I tried to make use of the staff, which does not help. I thought I could attack while flying. Turns out you can't. There I go. I fall. And I die. So if you see that, one pixel came into contact with the edge of that rock, and that was enough. Yeah. So now I'm all the way back down, trying to get a helicopter because I think for some reason that's going to help me. It really doesn't. This is just one of those levels where you have to brute force your way through and just hope you get through it. The old men don't help. The rocks you can avoid. If you learn where they come from, you can avoid them. The vultures are the same, but the old men, you can never tell where they're going to come from. They could fall on you at any time. And you can't see anything. I mean, there's so many places they could fall from. There's one up there, just skittering away. Yeah, easily the worst level of this game. I fell there, which is a really bad thing. Because I've just uncovered the enemy. You know, I've uncovered the old man that's up there, so if you fall further down, the only thing that's likely to happen is he's going to fall right on top of you. So my only advice is not to fall. I know, great advice, but... There's more vultures flying around. Surprised that they can go off the edge of the screen. I kind of figured that they just bounced back and forth, but apparently they go off the edge of the screen, which is nice. Here I am trying to... Yeah. It amazes me every time. They always seem to be able to avoid my attacks. Every time. But there you go, the hardest level in the entire game in my opinion. And if you can get past that level, as long as you're careful from this point on, you're pretty much home free. Although, I can't speak for everyone. That was almost death there. I'm surprised that the bomb blast didn't catch me. I pretty much learned after that instance not to fire. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played this game. But yeah, if you can avoid everything, I would say avoid it. Do not shoot things because you're just going to end up with bombs in your face. Much harder to maneuver with the helicopter. But thankfully again, not a very long level. What was that, 30 seconds? Nice and sweet, nice and short. And on to the final level of the game, if you can believe it. And this is easily the longest, most complicated level. I don't know if I've... No, I have shared that. You can hit blocks. If you hit blocks with your bare fist, you can push them. And anything in the way dies, which is a nice handy trick. But yeah, the most complex, the longest, and I don't find it personally the most difficult. I always felt that the rocky levels were worse because of the old wizard men. As long as you take it slow in this level, I would say that you're pretty much fine. There's a few instances where you have to be careful, which I'll talk about when we get to them. The bouncy black blocks, just holding down the jump button makes you jump higher and higher with each subsequent jump. You're going to have to really get used to playing with those in this level. The game really makes use out of them in this. Would not go for that box unless you're absolutely comfortable with the jumping in this game. The harder you jump the harder you press the button, the higher you jump. There is the first example of the timing death puzzles in this particular level. There isn't anything like that in the other levels. It's just this one. So it might come as a shock if you decide to play this. Spikes come down from the ceiling, and you're just supposed to get out of the way or move as quickly as possible. Here I make a horrible mistake, try to kill that mouse, don't know why. And for the sake of trying to keep this as short as possible, I thought I'd speed up this footage too, because it's not particularly great with the checkpoints in this. There is one checkpoint, I think, halfway through the level, but the level is a long one, so if you do mess up once, you go all the way back. There we go, the timing puzzle again. Just be quick. Fast as possible usually works. These mice, I think I just ignore this time. The jumping in this, you really have to get used to. You can do running jumps that make you a little, make you jump a little higher, which is what I needed to do then to get up there. I didn't bother with that chest. There's actually no reason to get any chests in this now. I could have sworn there was another shop on this level that sold necklaces or something useful, but there isn't, as far as I could find anyway. The only thing that I found on this level were capes, I think. And not something I generally use, so it was worthless to me. One of the waste of time traps that I think there's a couple of in this level too, that just throw you back a little bit. Really simple way to avoid that is just to not go there. It pretty much just forces you to go over the evil fire, little fire, angry fire. If you touch them, you die, obviously. You can't kill them. So you just have to try and get rid of it, or jump over it. It is possible to jump over, a little bit more risky, but it can be done. This is where I didn't see that coming, so I decided to go back instead of forward. As long as you know these traps are coming, you can pretty much get through them every time. You just have to be quick and as careful as possible, but quickly mostly. It really doesn't give you a lot of time. There was a bit of janky physics there, the mouse coming down the wall. If you kill it on the wall, the coin falls upwards. Hey, it was, what, early 90s? You can't really fault them for that, I guess. The music, which is I would call the music in this game frustratingly cheerful. It's so cheerful and happy, but the game itself is such a massive pain in the ass. Another one of those games that wants to try and make you cry. It'd actually be funny to know what a new person playing this game or how they would find it. I mean, it's easy for me because I've played this game so much. I pretty much know everything there is to know about this game. I mean, there are a few things that surprise me when I decide to replay it. You know, I think when I decided to play this again, it had been years since I'd played it, but I'd still remembered most of the game, so I could get through it pretty much hassle-free. But I would really be interested to know what someone would think of this game that's never played it before. Here's where I make another classic mistake. Another beginner's trap. If you swim to the bottom and then go through to the next screen, you get killed. Yeah, that's fair, right? I mean, who couldn't see that coming? So yeah, as long as your head is on top of that wall. You skirt the wall, you're fine. And once you know that, you're fine. There's a little frog. Not too many evil enemies in this level. The frogs are easy to get rid of, the little toy men, easy to get rid of. This is frustrating. It's frustrating to watch, it's frustrating to remember. The black blocks bounce you. If you kick them or punch them, they bounce you back. You're supposed to bounce yourself. Which I refuse to do, apparently. Yeah, bounce yourself from one side to another. It's a very tricky jump. I feel like they just added this just to frustrate people. But then again, I managed to do it somehow. Oh, yeah. That's the secret entrance back up into that room I just went into to find out that... What was in there? A cape? Yes, I don't want no cape. Found a life. Again, don't understand it. Don't pretend to understand it. And I fell. This is probably one of the most frustrating jumps in the game, if not the most frustrating. If only because it's so hard to judge. You have to be as the highest jump possible and also kick and then press right at the same time. All has to be perfect, otherwise you miss. But once you're up there, again, there's not another jump like it. It just exists there to annoy you. Can't remember if you could stop that platform, but it works either way. I apparently figured that I can't stop it, so... here's where, if you are equipping a moon ring, you have to unequip it, because you have to push these blocks over to the left side to make a makeshift stair. One of the only puzzle elements of this game, they just leave all the weird curveballs for the last level. I don't know why. And again, like I said, the longest level by far. Here's where the freaky jumping comes into play. Of course, they leave some spikes down there to freak you out. You have to jump immediately after those break. If you're even a split second too late, you fall. So yeah, a lot of death traps, a lot of cheap shots in this last level, and it does go on for a ridiculous amount of time. Do I? No. Don't go for the chest. There's another timing puzzle. Just have to do that. It's really not that tough. So yeah. It just keeps going on like this. Not much to say about it really. It's just... I guess it's just a kind of... it's like a endurance trial to see if you can make it through. The death traps, there's a few spots like there where if you misjudge the jump and fall through, you'll fall right onto an enemy. Nothing you can do about it. I do think it's funny how some parts of the level are ridiculously easy and other parts are just such cheap shot idiot traps, you know, like the spike pits and stuff that you could never see coming. I guess they just wanted to make this last level really hard. Well, I say hard. But like I said, I really don't know what someone new would think of this game. I would consider it probably one of the worst games on the Mega Drive, but maybe that's just my childhood talking. There you go, secret entrance. I think I remember that tripping me up as a kid. And there I am trying to find more secrets, and of course there are none. Why anyone would want to risk their life here for that chest, I don't know. If there's another way to get that chest without trying to kill yourself, I don't know. There's some more manoeuvring. Just goes to show that the swimming is not what they obviously didn't consider it easy either, with the spikes dotted around like that. So yeah, lots of obstacles, lots of death traps. Thankfully the enemies aren't horrible. Here's another bit of evil here. And some of these are literally, if you're even a split second too late, then you're dead. I don't know why, really don't know why they decided to make that part of the game when it's not anywhere else. There's another life. Obviously really expected you to lose a lot of lives here. And again, when these timing puzzles happen, you can always back out of the screen. Go out of the screen, assess what you need to do, come back, be as quickly as possible. Here, the worst timing puzzle, you've got to be quick. A jump and a duck and a crawl through that space before you get skewered, and you've got about a second to do it. Well, 2 seconds, let's be fair. Yeah, I'm trying to jump before I enter the screen, it's not working. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and just go for it. There we go. Perfect. This was my first playthrough. It is one of those games that I can just so easily go back to because of the muscle memory is just so ingrained into me. Even when fighting barefisted, unless I'm making a stupid mistake, like I'm jumping or messing around too close to an enemy, I'm usually okay, even against the more kind of annoying enemies like the hedgehogs from the second level. Here's the last shop of the game, as far as I know. There could be a secret area somewhere else. But yeah, another cape, and I'm just really... I was really disappointed that that was a cape. And my god, this level goes on for a long time, doesn't it? It really isn't like any of the other levels. The other levels are 3-4 minutes at most, some of them being 30 seconds long. I do remember a few moments in this level where I'm kind of mulling around and wasting time trying to figure out what to do, where to go. I don't know why. It was in this particular part here. Necklace, which is nice. Yep, for some reason I'm just completely stumped on where to go. I figure it's to the right, and it's not. That's just for the treasure. I don't know why I missed the very obvious entrance to, the upper left, but I did. But yeah, I just figured it was on the towards the right for some reason. So to spare everyone, I did speed up the footage here after I'd uncovered all the treasure and looked at all the rooms. You can just use this music as a backdrop to my own stupidity, I suppose. Think of it as my Benny Hill theme. Just trying to find... Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. And then I go to the left, and then of course it finally dawns on me that it's up to the left here. And I do remember feeling like an idiot. But now we're in the home stretch. I think there's not much left. Couple more rooms. Here again, another really tricky if you mess up you die jump. And again right after, another if you're not quick enough you die room. I have no idea how you're supposed to get into that top right corner. I've tried a few times. I don't know how you're supposed to do that. You have to be so quick. Here's another if you make a mistake you die room. I think you can turn that off, but I obviously didn't have the presence of mind. I was too freaked out. So there we go, I died, checkpointed, and now I have to get all the way back. Such a nice game. Such a charming and happy game. So there we go, now I know the secret sequence now. And here we go. I didn't actually know that this was the final room, so I didn't have my necklace equipped, and as you can see, this looks incredibly intimidating. This is the final boss of the game, and I didn't have my necklace equipped. I somehow win, but he challenges you again, and if you do have the necklace on, it does carry over. So I didn't actually remember that. And somehow I draw. You have to, in pretty much every other case of the rock, paper, scissors, apart from the bosses, you can skip the music. But in this you have to let it play. I do remember my incredible streak of luck here. I don't know how I did it, especially when the rest of the game was actively try to make me lose all my money. So there you go, 3 draws in a row. And the pressure's on now. What is with this? Like, who are these animals? And there we go, I somehow won. And then, epic side-scroller duel where you have to dodge and fight with moonbeam rings. The only fight like that in the game. They save it for the last boss. I don't know how I didn't die there. But with Moonbeam Ring, I am victorious. All praise to Moonbeam Ring. And the end of the game. I don't know if you get different endings depending on what difficulty you choose. This was just normal difficulty. Whether or not there's a different ending or extra ending if you go on hard, I don't know. There are quite a few games on the Genesis that do that, where you play through the game on hard mode and you get a different ending. This looks pretty definitive though. I can't imagine that there's another ending. But yeah, the final ending tells you basically that Alex's father, Thor, came to this planet to enslave everyone and did it under the guise of being dead. So you think your father's dead, but really he's just gone off to enslave an entire planet. Which isn't that a charming ending to the story? Yeah. Went back home to tell everyone that he was alive. This sounds like such an English ending. I can't help but think that they didn't actually translate the real ending. They just made something up. Whether or not that's true or not, I have no clue, but it sounds like something that would have happened back in the 90s. So yeah, the end. I do show off the ending, the beginning scroll. If you leave the intro on at the beginning of the game, you get this text scroll that basically outlines the story of the game, which is you think your father's dead, but then hear a rumour that he's alive on planet Paper Rock, where they love to play rock, paper, scissors. And that's it. Just Alex going to find out if his father's still alive, and he is alive. He's just doing some weird, freaky stuff on this planet. Keeping a pet with 6 arms that plays rock, paper, scissors all day. I have no idea. only in Japan. This could only come from Japan. Is my father still alive? Well, yeah, apparently. And because I never used it, I went back and got some bonus footage for everyone. But I have to win rock, paper, scissors first. Look at this. This is just ridiculous. Jesus. They really didn't want me to have that pogo stick, but I got it. And now we can have some pogo fun. Absolutely useless. I would never recommend it. If you go into the sea with it, it breaks. If you try to use it in the desert, you're just gonna die. You're gonna get hit by a vulture, probably. Land on an ant. You can't use it on the rocky levels. Can't use it on the. You definitely can't use it on the vertical rocky levels. Can't use it really in the castle. Can't use it anywhere. Absolutely pointless. But my god, is it a powerful item in the first level. And then decide to end it by dying, because why not?